Welcome, everyone, to the Tri-State Audi Knicks postgame show. R.J. Barrett snaps out of his slump, hits a career-high 7 threes. He goes 7 of 8 from downtown, finishes with 32 points, his second high point total of the year. His season high is 35. And Julius Randle distributing. Emmanuel quickly had 9 of his 16 in the fourth quarter. 6 Knicks in double figures tonight, and they win at 121 to 109. Great to have you with us, everyone, from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak. Important win for the Knicks. They snap what was a season-high 3-game losing streak. And, Wally, all the credit goes to R.J. Barrett. We have often talked about his mental toughness, his resiliency, and it was on display tonight.
Yeah, and the Knicks are a different team when he plays well. Randle is pretty solid on most nights. He's going to give you good contributions. Even when he doesn't shoot the ball, he's going to do a lot of other things to help you win. He needs someone else to step up every single night, not just once in a while, and give him some support. And he had it from R.J. Barrett. He had it from the bench again. Emmanuel quickly was really good. I like the move, getting Nerlens Noel into the starting lineup. I think that really fits well because Noel knows the tendencies of all those guys in the lineup. So he can kind of help them on offense and especially on defense, protecting the rim. And Mitch looked energized playing with the bench guys. I mean, those guys run, those guys play fast, they get up and down the floor, and Mitch looked like a totally different player.
How about the reaction of the players, too, when the coach is, using choice words for some of you? You take Mitchell Robinson out of the starting lineup. Mitchell Robinson doesn't sulk, doesn't, feel sorry for himself. Whatever it is, all right, that's what I got to do. He admits he's not in great game shape yet. Go to the bench and have a fantastic performance like he did. 8 offensive rebounds out of his 14 rebounds. The Knicks turned a lot of second-chance points in this game. Him and then R.J. Barrett, hey, get in the gym, work on your shot, put in the work, do what you have to do. A lot of us thought, well, he's calling out R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett just said, okay, yeah, I got to get back in the gym. I got to get back to doing what I was doing. So the response to the coach, to me, is an important thing here. And they talked about how they had a really good practice yesterday, trying to find their identity, get back to that. So it does speak a lot about this group and how much they do believe in who they can be this year.
You look at R.J. Barrett's numbers. Last year, so much better from 3 than he was his rookie year, right. 40%. Came into this game, Wally, only 31% from downtown. Was it just a question tonight that he made all the open looks that he's been missing?
Yeah, it's an easy game. And, we can wallywall this, we can talk about defense that, we can watch film as much as we want, but it comes down to when you're open, make the shot. Yeah. He started the game 4 for 4 in the first half. He continued in the second half, lights out from deep. I mean, these are easy looks. Teams are not really respecting his jumper, I don't think, much. Look, there's not much of a contest. They're going under screens on him, daring him to shoot. I mean, the help is all the way into the paint, and they're saying, R.J. beat us because he hasn't been shooting the basketball well at all. And these are all late closeouts. So now teams are going to adjust to that, and they're going to say, wait a second, this guy found his jumper again, lit us up for 7 threes, 7 for 8 from 3, so maybe we got to respect him a little more. But you have to keep the defense honest, and you have to show the defense that you're worthy of closing out to by making shots like you did tonight. He hasn't done this in 13 games. He has not shot the ball well from the three-point line. So hopefully this trend continues.
Yeah, and you can see it, too. He just had the energy in his legs. You could just see the fact that he was able to get off the ground. His 3 had a lot more length to it. It wasn't short. We saw him missing short left and right, so definitely had his legs tonight. All
right, Knicks were only up, Wally, by 6 at the half. Third quarter, they go 7 of 12 from downtown. Julius Randle in that third quarter hit 3 threes. Randle's first field goal of this game came with about 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Not only 2 points at the half, both free throws. He started to shoot it from deep and make it, and as a team, the Knicks caught fire.
Well, I bet Randle was looking around like, thank you, about time. I don't have to do everything out here. Other guys are getting going and knocking down shots and making things happen, so I will gladly be a facilitator. And that third quarter started with that R.J. Barrett 3, then an Alec Burks 3, and then Julius Randle. That's a big shot. Yeah, that was at the end of a shot clock, kind of busted play, knocks down that triple. Evan Fournier hit a 3, and he also hit a 2. He had 5 in a row during this run. And how about Derrick Rose? When he comes in the game, he seems to do absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, everything he touches turns to gold, makes plays on the offensive end of the floor. His three-pointer looks tremendous. Just that steadying influence off the bench the bench has just been throttling teams, especially a young Spurs team. They had no answer for Derrick Rose in the Knicks bench.
Especially in a back-to-back. And I was going to mention that 47 bench points and really only 4 guys played.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Quentin Grimes got in for under a minute, and Obi Toppin really only played a handful of minutes in this game too, 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Quentin Grimes played 8 seconds. You know, that's your bench. So really your bench was essentially Mitchell Robinson, Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickly. They did all the scoring. 47 points off the bench. I mean, and that's why when some people wonder, well, why doesn't he just move Derrick Rose to the starting lineup? Why does he move Quickly to the starting lineup? He doesn't want to mess with something that's a good thing. You don't want to take what's a positive and tear it up, make it worse, weaken a positive to try to strengthen what has been a struggle, which is your starting lineup. Leave that bench alone because that's a strength of this team.
Burke starting 18 points, but is playing a lot of minutes with that second unit. So in a lot of ways, the second unit is intact. But as we've talked about tonight, you had Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, and he was great.
Yeah, and again, another guy that what we've noticed about him, put on the weight, coming off the injury, just his energy. When he, remember last year, just before the injury, his energy was off the charts. He went after every loose ball. He's all over the place. And look at him here. You could just see it. He's got the bounce, you know, back in his legs, and he ends up on the ground so much. But it's, to me, this is the stuff that you need from him. He's got that length, and he's the ability to get extra possessions, offensive rebounds, and then, of course, his hands. A couple of steals as well as his 3 blocks. Defensive impact that he can make all around the basket in the painted area. That's what you expect from Mitchell Robinson, and cleaning up a lot of the mess. That's why he has a high percentage finish as a field goal percentage on the season. That's the Mitchell Robinson the Knicks were hoping to have this season. They've got to wait a little bit longer because he missed a lot of time. It's a tough injury. He also put on some weight. He's learning how to play with that extra weight. But if they can get him right, that's a hint. That's a peek at what they expect him to be this year.
Yeah, he wasn't playing against Nikola Jokic.
And that too.
Either.
There's that too. There's that too.
But what about him going up against the second centers now?
Oh, it's going to be a lot easier, believe me. It's not the same when you're not going against frontline guys. He did play very well against Jakob Poeltl. You know, we saw in those highlights that he was going toe-to-toe with Poeltl. That's a good matchup for him. But you know, you take a step down in weight class, you know, when you go to the bench. You're not seeing 7-footers that are, you know, MVPs, you know, on a nightly basis. So you're seeing a Eubanks who's an energy guy. He's undersized. He's giving away size to Mitchell Robinson, length, strength, athleticism. So Mitch dominated him the way he should. So go out and dominate second-line guys, and then maybe you'll get your opportunity again in the starting
This is why after I played you at CW Post in those runs, then I'd play in men's league and I'd dominate because
That's right.
This guy wasn't around to dominate.
Did he play defense against you?
He didn't have to.